Welcome to my project Defense for Network 3. My name is Hamza Khalid Mheza and my ID number is 2017-01064. In my presentation, I'm going to introduce the objective of projects such as policy, standard, and procedure, then the design for security model, what is kill chain, cloud security, information security, network security measures. Going to the design, I'm going to illustrate my network topology and security design. Also, I'm going to discuss about network devices features or functionalities. For the for the security awareness, I'm going to talk about how employees should deal with the phishing emails, or what are the topics we are going to discuss in this session. Finally, the implementation, I will explain VPN connection and AAA configured in the firewall device called ASA. The policy I have published is the VPN protection policy. This policy targets the network security staff, agents, vendors. The purpose of this policy is to summarize the rules and requirements to connect from any device. This policy makes sure that VPN users are treated as on-site employees regarding the security measures that applied. Mainly, is created to protect the VPN user by implementing ACL to give access to needed files and resources to make their work secure and fast. The standard that should be used is ISO 27001 and ISO 27005. Both of them are created or related to the International Organization for Standardization. To begin, ISO 27001 created to secure information in an organized and cost-effective way, beside the Information Security Management System. Also, it's created to protect the three main elements CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This policy handles all information security measures and how to secure any information owned or related to the organization. Going to ISO 27005, it's a standard of risk management. It describes how to manage the risk in a company according to ISO 27001 requirements. It provides solutions in case of losing any organizational asset and simplify the process of targeting by risk modification, retention, avoidance, and risk sharing. The official name of this standard is ISO 27005 Risk Management because it provides all the measures for facing risks in the company. The procedure that I'm going to discuss is data privacy procedure. The procedure will show system integrity process to protect data privacy. First, the access for the system administrator provided without permission from high level management because they have enough and advanced knowledge to fix and debug company problems, and giving access to them will ease the process of diagnosing and fixing problems to become faster and more effective. And once they detect the problem, they assign it to a hardware and or software problem to deal with it in the right way. The picture on right will show the security topology in my network. To achieve the security in my topology, I have set a firewall device called ASA 5505 to control the traffic, then a DMZ to separate the server from internal network, VLANs to separate the department and manage my topology. Finally, I have configured all ACLs in my ASA device and all these measures to protect internal users from any potential external threats. Furthermore, these are the 7 steps from the kill chain model. First, we have reconnaissance as gathering information such as emails and phone numbers. Secondly, we have weaponization. It's an exploiting with a backdoor using a deliverable file. Then we have the delivery. It's a USB drive. It can be delivered by USB drive, website, or an email. And fourth, a vulnerability to execute our code on the victim device. Then we have to install a malware using the installation to publish our backdoor on the victim device. Then we will control and command with a channel from a remote exploitation on the victim device. Lastly, we will get hands on keyboard because the hacker will fully control on the system and accomplish his goal. Moreover, we have to secure our cloud using these techniques such as enforcement of detection and prevention system to monitor cloud activity, managing user access, implementing C2C or cloud to cloud backup. Managing user will improve the security because each user will be limited to his resources given from the administrator, and C2C or cloud backup will always keep a copy on other cloud in case of any threats. For information security, I put a DLP, data loss prevention, cryptography, and incident response. DLP basically is protecting and preventing data from getting lost and getting leaked. DLP is in case of successful attack, it directly delete the whole information and apply the backup version from the cloud. The cryptography is encrypting a plain text to a ciphertext. And finally, the incident response is the process automatically from the system to monitor and investigate any potential malicious behavior. This slide indicates the network security that I'm planning to implement. First, we have the firewall. It's a guard for the network because it's filter any external traffic to be permitted or denied. Second, we have access control list that use the network to control users' privilege to limit their access to their work only. Finally, the application security. It's include encryption, firewalls, antiviruses, and monitoring internet access specifically for network administrator. The network topology used in my topology code called hierarchical network model that separate the layer to core, distribution, and access. I have also combined it with the security design by adding DMZ and a firewall device like ASA. By combining hierarchical model and security design, we enhance the security measure to protect internal users from external threats. In my topology, I have used router, firewall, switches, and servers. There are two routers, the border one and the internal one. The border to connect the internal with the WAN because there are EIGRP configured there, and the internal one for DHCP and inter-VLAN to configure the inter-VLAN the configuration to ensure my communication between internal devices. And the firewall is to permit or deny any external or internal traffic, and it connects the DMZ. Then we have the switches to provide redundancy, port security, packet filtering, and flow control. And lastly or finally, we have the servers to provide a websites, email connection, file exchange through their services. The security awareness session is how to deal with phishing emails. This session published to educate all the employees in the company to protect them in case of getting phishing email. These 5 points will be discussed in the session. How to spot untrusted sources emails, social engineering kill chain, physical security, policies and procedures, and what is the possible scenarios that we will have that may happen. For the implementation, applying a remote access VPN and AAA configured an ASA device of the firewall. For the VPN configure, I have configured them in a Bahrain router to be accessed by Paris users as the scenarios need. I have used remote access VPN because in the scenario it says they don't want to invest in dedicated link and only required on-demand connection, whatever they want. And it's and I find remote access VPN is a suitable way to implement this. For AAA, I have configured them in ASA device because ASA will handle any configuration related to traffic management. In the end, thank you for your interest. If there are any questions, I'll be available to answer anytime. My name is Hamza Khalid Mheza and my ID is 2017 01064, and this was my project Defense for Network Security.